go out for sushi. And my husband really wanted to go to Italian. And so the compromise would be that I gave up and we decided to go to pizza instead. Okay, so do you hear how we both gave up something so that we could both be sort of happy? But oftentimes what we're thinking about is I'm sitting here thinking about, gee, I'd really like some sushi. All right? So the win might be that tonight we go to Japanese, and tomorrow night we go to where he wanted to go. That might be a win-win. So that we're not giving up. A lot of times we find ourselves giving up pieces of who we are. And when we keep giving up pieces of who we are and what we want and what we like to do, we become very resentful. And we sometimes get depressed. We sometimes don't feel lively in our life. And it's because we keep giving up little pieces of ourselves to different places. Now this little piece goes to the Girl Scout Club because I couldn't say no and they asked me to do da-da-da. This piece goes to my husband because I gave up, wanting that third child, or whatever it is. So, do not give up. You don't want to give up and you don't want to give in. You want to state clearly what you want and stick with it and make sure that the other person wins too. That person is got to be just as important for you to win as it is for the other person. In fact, it's even better to even start that way. How can we do this so this works for you? By the way, you can use works if you don't like win. How can we do this so that it works for you? And oftentimes, just saying that makes the brain feel safe and they're more willing to cooperate. So you can start that with the child. What will work here for you? This is what works for me. How can we do this so we can both be happy about it? A quick example is Brianna, and you can start this very young. Brianna was like barely 2. She could barely talk. And we were in the bathtub together taking a bath. And she wanted little water, and I wanted big water, and we were getting into a power struggle. Isn't it silly, the power struggle? And so I said, Brianna, what do you want? She goes, I want little water. And I went, I want big water. How can we both be happy here? And she thought for just a few seconds. Kids are so amazing at this. She thought for a few seconds and said, well, Mommy, how about when you're in the bathtub, we'll have big water, and then you get out and I'll have little water. I was like, wow, what a great solution. Okay, so stick firmly to your convictions. Make sure that both parties are happy. And this is something that we also need to teach our kids, and we're going to be talking about this later.